can hear some of my family's out here. My grandma is here, and now she knows all about the different types of cocks you can have. So thanks for that. She knows about pussy pudding. She kind of already knew about that, but not to my eyes. To my eyes, she knows shrimp Creole and giving me $20 on Christmas. That's what she knows, and you took that from me. Hey, can you hand me one of those stools over there? My beard needs a spot. It's okay with you. You think I am a peasant sitting on the little midget stool? Yeah, it's good to be back, everybody. The last time I was here, I ran into this guy that I knew from high school. I grew up here, if you didn't know. I ran into this guy from high school, and when I went to high school with him, he was a really big guy. And when I saw him this day, he had lost like a lot of weight. And I was like, oh shit, and I hadn't been in town for like 10 years. So I walk up to him and I'm like, dude, hey, how you doing, man? Like, you look really fucking good. And he looks at me confused and he goes, holy shit, dude, you look really good too. And like, you look like you're doing really awesome. And we're like talking for a minute, and I'm like, yeah, dude, it's good that you lost a lot of weight. And he's like, yeah, dude, I thought you died. So, I'm here, guys. I'm alive. Whatever, you know what? Fuck that fat kid. Fuck him, right? You know what, though? Actually, it's good that you lost the weight, because that's one thing that I'm sick of hearing. And it's not necessarily a bad thing that you're fat. Well, it is. But if you are, like, a big person, it shouldn't be about, like, oh, you know, like everybody should be accepting of my body. I mean, maybe not. You know, maybe it's because of the health that we have that mentality about ourselves. You know, it's mainly the people that are at like clubs, like big women that like have a like high and mighty status about it. You know, like, oh, you can't handle this big beautiful body. Yeah, neither can your heart. You're gonna die at 30 of a massive heart attack because you keep eating and stuffing your fucking face. Don't worry. The dick jokes are gonna come later. I'm gonna give Grandma a little bit of a space between the dick jokes earlier and my dick jokes. I have a special brand of dick jokes tonight. You guys are represented really well out in Phoenix. I worked at a comedy club when I first started doing this, and as a bartender. And one night, you guys, I know a lot of people on the coast don't think you have an accent, but you do. And it's actually pretty. It's not like the rest of the South, but it is very specific to here. But you have one. And this guy came in, and I recognized that because I haven't like lived here in a while, and I can hear it now, and I'm like elsewhere. And I was like, "Dude, where are you from, man?" And he goes, "Pascagoula, Mississippi." I'm like, "Oh shit, I grew up in Ocean Springs." And he's like excited about this, like, "Whoa, that's what happens when you see somebody that is from your hometown." And he proceeded to get wasted. And like the funny thing was the types of drinks he was ordering. He ordered every time he got a drink, it was a Coors Light and a sangria. Which that combination is definitely the mullet of drink combinations. You know, it's just all party and business everywhere. He ordered 9 of these combinations, and this guy was probably 145. I don't give a fuck about overserving. You know your limits, not me. And he's really excited. At the end of the show, he had a good time. And he comes up to me at the end of the show, puts his arm around me, and is like, he doesn't really know me. He knows that we're from the same hometown, so he's thinking that we have an inside joke, but this is what he comes out with. Biloxi, Pascagoula, Gulfport, Ocean Springs. He just names out all the states around me, like I would know. Like, when he said Biloxi, a little bit of puke came out. Like, it was like a little bird, just like eating his young. And he gets scared a little bit because he thinks I'm going to kick him out. Now, I'm laughing my ass off. Like, nothing better could have happened. And he's freaking out. He just goes, steps on it. Like, so sad, dude. He stands there for a minute and just kind of drags it away and tries to smear it to all the others. I was like, come on, man, just have a good night. Don't worry, I'll clean this up. I'll gladly clean that up for that amount of entertainment. I just got up here and I gotta poop. I gotta be up here for 45 minutes and I gotta poop now. Alright, we're gonna get through that. All of us are gonna get through it. You're gonna feel my pain. Man, grew up here. I fucking grew up in this town. And I'm glad to be back. I know when I went to, I was thinking about, when I came into town this year, my stepdad, I went to Atlanta first, that's where he moved. I went to see him and my sister. And my mom died a couple of years ago, and he remarried this Filipino mail-order bride. He says it's not Filipino mail-order, it's definitely mail-order, dude. Like, I don't care if they call it an agency, it's a fucking mail-order bride, come on. We get in the car, and like, the girl's like my age, by the way. And I'm thinking, on the flight, I'm like prepping myself, like, alright, don't bring it up the fact that he's got like a Filipino mail-order bride. Just don't say anything about the age. It's gonna be a taboo subject. We're not gonna bring it up because this is gonna be embarrassing. I get there and he picks me up and I'm in the car with him and her and the first thing he says is, hey, you know she's actually your age. Hey, that's what you opened with? Come on, I got a whole preparation to not fuck with this whole subject. You did it anyway. The jokes are gonna get better, don't worry. They were good. I'm kind of going down and I'm gonna bring it back up, right guys? Thank you for coming out, everybody. Trying to think what the next little gig should be. Woo! What is that shirt? Alan fucking nasty. What does that mean?
Memorial.
Oh my god. I was about to make fun of it and like somebody died over this shirt. Jesus Christ. I know the one thing, I was in the, oh, you know what, a recent thing that happened to me, that's one of my grandmothers. I have multiple ones. I moved my other grandmother out to my condo in Phoenix pretty recently. It's been pretty interesting. I had to change up my lifestyle a little bit, you know, granny before Poonanny, you know, it's fair. That's every time I've told that joke constitutes the only times I've ever said the word Poonanny. It's a stupid fucking word. It rhymes, so I went with it. But she's from Alabama, and she's pretty much only lived there. And when she moved out, like she's a little, I don't want to say, there's 3 types of racism, guys. There's like aggressive, like Hitler racism, which is, bleh, that's the big one. And then there's like passive aggressive racism, where it's like, well, I don't want to kill them, but I kind of wish they were all dead. And then there's polite racism, which sounds like, oh, my friends are black. That's what that sounds like. So she moves out there, and the first thing, I took her to a Mexican place. It's a crowded day, and we sit down, and she looks around, crowded. She goes, dang, it's a lot of Mexicans out here. Shut the fuck up, Grandma. Shut the fuck up, God. I can't bring girls over anymore. I mean, I can. It's weird. It's not because she judges me about it. It's because the next day she cooks for them and shit, dude. It's my eggs that I work for. Bacon's for closers, Grandma. Closers. I'm gonna sit down for a minute and barricade this fucker in. Alright, we're good now. We're good. I know she's really brutal too. I walked into the house and she was on the phone with her sister, my Aunt Kay, and they were arguing. And they were like arguing viciously. And here was what the argument was. According to my grandma, when you wipe your ass, you're supposed to wrap the toilet paper neatly around your hand and then clean it out. According to my Aunt Kay, you're supposed to just wad that shit up and destroy your asshole. They're like about to not be sisters over this argument. And at one point my Aunt Kay just gives up and goes, you know what, Linda, you just a freak. And my grandma, without skipping a beat, goes, whatever, bitch, at least I got both my legs. I fucked that up. I forgot to tell you that my grandma, shit. My Aunt Kay lost her leg. Diabetes. Diabetes. Oh. Well, my excitement's getting it back up a little bit, but yeah, she lost her leg to diabetes, which is always my favorite part of the story. It's like when you say I lost my leg to diabetes, it sounds like you went to a war in '78. Like, diabetes back in the '60s. Fuck, I'm not even drunk enough about that. Yeah, so she's like 3/4 of a person. It's like the whole leg is gone. Anyway, I kind of did a little Tarantino on that joke. New way to tell it, I guess. It's experimental, guys. So, that's my grandma stuff, I guess. I think you gotta know your weaknesses. Thinking about that a little bit recently. I know for me, dude, I'm like really bad with money. Anybody else? I'm pretty good about finding money. I'm really shitty about keeping it, you know, like I can get it, but then I just don't know how to hold on to it for a while. My little brother never really had that problem. Even when we were kids, he would like save up his money and get the thing he really wanted. And I guess if I had $1 for every dollar I don't have, that joke wouldn't make sense. I'm not really good at, you know, my little brother, he's supposed to be here tonight, but he's not. He just got engaged recently. It's pretty exciting. He got successfully engaged last Wednesday, and I successfully ate 3 bowls of chili Wednesday. So, good for me, yeah. Good for me, doing that, keeping it down. I'm like 10 years older than the guy, too. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I did get married one time, and it did not end well. All right, depressing. Let's go back up a little bit. Okay. Ooh, you know what? What's the? I was excited about the new Rocky movie that just came out. Anybody else excited about that? I haven't seen it yet. Has anybody seen it yet? No. Anybody like Rocky at all? I'm just like, okay, yeah. What's all right? Let me ask you. What's your like least favorite? What do you think is the worst Rocky movie? I don't care. Just
Three.
No.
Five.
The worst Rocky movie, yeah. Five, right? Most people say, who the fuck says 3, dude? That's like Mr. T, dude. Are you kidding me? Fuck you. Come on. No, 5 is usually the one that I get, the worst one, right? And if you don't know anything about this, if you've never seen the movies, I'll explain how it's the worst movie. When I was really excited about like the newest one, Rocky Balboa coming out in high school. I was super excited. So I went to Walmart and I bought like the DVD set 1 through 5, right? And super excited. I put it in my car, I leave my car, I come back to my car. Somebody had broken into my car and stolen all but Rocky 5. I took it out of the wrapper and everything. That's another copy. I guess I should talk a little bit about the reason that I moved away for a little bit. I kind of left when I was like 19 and I haven't really lived here since. It was the Marine Corps. For those of you that don't know me, I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19 and did that for 6 years. And at the end of the day, guys, it's a job. And people forget that. It really is a job. You know, nobody that's wealthy enlists in the Marine Corps or in the military in general. Like, nobody goes like, that's my dream. Like, it may be your dream, but it's generally like, for me, it was like the same reason that people become strippers. Like, I just had nowhere else to go. And I mean, the first day, well, specifically this, like there's all kinds of different, it's a weird job because it's one of the few jobs in the world where you can get fired for just being too fat. Like, could you imagine like coming to work the next day, like, oh, don't even bother coming in. Oh, why? I mean, look at your gut, dude. Like, just don't come in to work tomorrow. But it's also, and speaking of that, there's a lot of jobs in the Marine Corps. Like, it's not just like everybody shoots things. Like, there's multiple different MOSs, like military occupational specialties, all that stuff. And it's really, there's people in, like fly helicopters. There's a band in the military. You know, and it's funny when you meet all these people. You know, this is such a crazy diversity. Like, oh, what do you do for a living? Oh, I fly helicopters in the Marine Corps. You know, I shoot stuff from helicopters. Oh, cool, man. Like, what's your MOS? What's your job in the military? Oh, I'm a machine gunner, 0351, you know, like fucking badass. Oh, wow, cool. Oh, what do you do? Oh, I play French horn. that can happen. This is a real conversation sometimes, it happens. Yeah, so there's that. I know for me, going through the whole thing, I realized now that I'm out and I'm going to ASU, and I'm like in college now, one way you can really tell about the environment that you're in is by judging the bathroom graffiti that you see when you go to the bathroom, whatever place you're at. Now that I'm at ASU, I go to the bathroom and like all over the walls there's like really awesome stuff, like Mark Twain quotes and like stuff that they wrote, you know, beautiful art that they draw because they're pooping and they're learning things that they put that on walls, you know. Which is awesome, these kids are learning because which is different because 3 years ago when I was in Afghanistan and I would go to the Porta-John, there would just be dicks drawn everywhere, dude. Everywhere. I swear to God, one time I saw like a dick jet shooting like dick missiles at little dick people. They had turbans on their heads to keep it culturally relevant, don't get me wrong. There'd always be the Marine that would be like, oh, I ain't gay, I'm gonna draw a pussy. And he would try to draw, you know, he would say, you know, I'm not gay, pussy. Point at him and stuff. Every time I saw a dick get drawn, though, it was like pretty spot on. Like sometimes it'd be like anatomically labeled, and do that. But every time I saw a vagina get drawn, it would be like it'd always come out like real oniony. Like way too many layers, you know. Like I'd be sitting there like, what kind of girls are you guys talking about? When they have like 8 labias. What's this? There's the dick jokes, Grandma. That's it. That's the ones. It's dick drawing jokes, so it doesn't really count. I'm good. I know. This is why I should have taken this shit seriously. 3 days into like the new job that I'm at, I'm standing at attention outside. This is a boot camp story. I'm standing at attention outside, and I'm like, I can't really breathe because I got a fucking booger in my nose, dude. Like, I really don't. Any other situation doesn't matter. You just fucking pick that bitch or blow your nose, whatever, dude. I don't have that opportunity. There's like drill instructors everywhere, but there weren't any in front of me, so I was like, whatever, dude. I'll just get it real quick. I did. I got it like one try. Pretty proud about that. This drill instructor behind me was watching the entire time. Just watching my stealthy moves. He gets up right in my face, and like just swoops up right here. I'm like, ooh. And I'm thinking, like, I'm so scared I can't fucking put my finger down, you know. And the guy looks at me, and I'm like, shit, he's about to like make me do like a bunch of pull-ups or push-ups or like destroy my life. It's not what he does. He looks at me, looks at my booger finger, and goes, put it back! I'm like about to do this shit too. I'm like right here, right about here, the Mission Impossible zone, right here. And this kid behind me starts laughing his ass off. I don't blame him. I mean, he's about to watch this dumb bitch put a booger back in his nose, dude. Like, that's funny. And the drill instructor hears him laugh and punishes him instead. He just goes, stop! Put it in that bitch's nose. And I turn around, like, I don't like, when we were in March later, I can hear him, like trying to get it out. It was pretty, booger jokes, yeah, it's good, really good. We were talking about my mom dying earlier. It was sad, I mean, it was, but you know, she lived a really good life. And in the end, she had one of those stories where like she knew she was dying. So she like lived her life, you know, like got well with all the people that she wronged, you know. So like you really, in a story like that, you can't really be too upset. I mean, I miss her, but I don't know why this is turning into a TED Talk. But anyway, last year we spread the ashes in the Tennessee River because she let go in there. And the ducks came up and started devouring my poor dead mom. Yeah, this is hard to get through, don't worry. I ended up getting a ticket for feeding the ducks that day. Oh, that's pretty good, I guess. I guess a good status in my life. Man. Speaking of things that are not that, when I was a kid, we all had the sex. How many people actually had the sex talk from their parents when it was legitimate? A lot of people just never had it, and then they just figure it out because they horrify you with the pictures in school. You remember how bad those pictures were, though? Like, it was like they would show you the STD pictures, and it was always like the worst case scenario. It'd be like a homeless meth head that just didn't go to the doctor for 10 years, and like their HPV just rotted it all away. It was like, dude, I'm sure not all cases are like that. So I knew that in high school, or like in junior high. And then like my actual sex talk came from my dad. First of all, I was 5 when he gave me the talk. 5 is super young. And this is the weird way he does it. Now looking back, I realized that he was just nervous about this. But he takes me out in the woods, and we got like a tent going on. And I'm 5 years old still. Just keep that in your head. And it's quiet the whole time. And we had like a little campfire, and I was like, what are we doing in the woods, you know? Like, my dad is silent for like an hour. And finally, and it was because he was nervous. He knew what he had to do, but he didn't really want to do it. That's why he was quiet. I didn't know that. I'm just like kind of scared at this point. Like, this is like Abraham taking his son to the mountain about to kill him or something. And I mean, I'm 5. I don't know anything about that, but like, yeah. So my dad, like, he basically blurts it out like right before he falls asleep. Hey Chris, by the way, when sex is when you put your thing into her thing. We enjoy it. We haven't spoken all night, and that's what you open with? Why do we have guns out here? No, seriously, we brought like rifles out in the woods, and then that was the whole of what we did. Because then it goes from that, so I knew that at 5 years old, and then you don't hear anything about sex, especially growing up in Mississippi. They don't like teach you safe sex or anything like that. And then you hear, all they do is teach you, but they just teach you the horrifying aspects of it. And it was to the point where the first time I ever actually like masturbated, I thought I gave myself full-blown AIDS. Like right there, I just thought I gave it. It was over. I would like tell my mom, like, we gotta go to the hospital. I got the AIDS. 11 years old, I got the AIDS. Getting the AIDS when I'm watching the late night HBO specials on HBO. Sorry. I remember those. You know that you're a really younger generation, or older generation when you actually had to beat off to like JCPenney magazines. And they just had porn everywhere. It's really bad when you had to pull out the encyclopedia and turn it into the Africa section. Pancake boobs, I still test. You know? Yeah. Ooh, my. What you guys want to talk about? I mean, I still got more stuff. I'm just kind of like prying my brain for other things.
Talk about your lousy, crummy wife who's totally responsible for the divorce.
Oh, God.
Not
Oh, my God. That was just strap in. We're going to have a really sad moment of the comedy show. Oh, no. Yeah. I asked for it, I guess. Like, glad that you want to talk about this. I don't ever. Again. Yeah. Woo. Christ. Fucking fat people, dude. I don't know. I know when I was I've had like 3 concussions in my life. Pretty rough stuff. The second one that I ever had, the first one my stepmom dropped me on my head. Good. Yeah, that's good. Good story. Good way to start your 6-year-old career. When I was 8 years old, I was at the YMCA, like a little after-school care. I got my ass kicked by a kid with Down syndrome. Let me go further with that. We were playing with balls, and I was, first of all, I'm doing the karma thing, you know, playing with the kid that nobody wants to play with, you know. And we're passing the ball back and forth, and he's all excited, I'm all excited. They blow the whistle, which means it's time to come in and play with the balls. He doesn't understand that, so I got the ball and I'm running with it to go put it in the bins. He runs up behind me and takes my face and slams into a pole, just right away. Just, yeah! Like you can hear the retarded fury, just yeah! Like slams it. I don't care, I can call him a retard, he almost killed me, alright? The funny part about it wasn't that was horrible. The funny part of it was the way that the YMCA staff handled this. When you're a kid, and you're like looking up at these 16-year-old people that are like in charge of you, you're thinking they're just gods. You know, you don't understand that they're also kids just watching other kids. And you're just like, yeah, little did I know that really they're just a bunch of people going and giving themselves AIDS in the fucking bathroom. But this kid, the 16-year-old like staff, they put all like the 300 kids into the stands. So the whole auditorium is filled. And they put me in the center of the court to be a spectator while I'm bleeding out. Like shit's just like popping out of my face. And there's like 300 kids just watching me die. And I can hear they're calling my attention. This is what they're worried about. This is how you know the shitty state of the insurance of America. That's a really worded that weird. The insurance of America, guys. This is how you know it's all fucked up. They weren't worried about getting me to the hospital, which is what they should have done. They were like trying to contact my dad to figure out like where my insurance papers are. You know, it's what they were worried about, more than like making sure that an 8-year-old doesn't die at the YMCA. I remember hearing my dad on the other end of the line. They're like, take her to the fucking hospital, you jackass! That's the only time I ever heard him. So yeah, I got beat up by that guy. Oh man, everybody know the guy, Eric here? Eric? Okay, maybe some of you aren't regulars. There's a guy here that has Down syndrome, and I didn't know that the first time he was here. He comes here a lot. And the first time he was here, I was doing a set. He was like yelling, you know, because that's what they do. And I didn't know about his condition. I thought he was like a drunk asshole heckler. So I said the words, "Hey, where's your retard handler, dude?" And the funny thing was that everybody starts laughing their ass off. And then I see his face and I'm like, oh shit. And then I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are fucked up. You know this guy. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, it was that. Really bad, speaking of weaknesses earlier, I'm really bad at the whole dating thing. Yeah. It's mainly because I'm just not tolerating. I don't tolerate the shit that I used to tolerate. Yeah, everybody has this like specific thing that they like want in their head in a mate, and I just don't believe in that shit. It's fucked up. Girls, especially with girls, like they say stupid. I hate these little phrases like, "I just want some guy to come around and play with me, and all guys are the same." Yeah, I mean, some are Chinese. There's some dead guys out there. There's Jew ones. There's 6 million less of those, but there are some Jews left. Oh God, that's 50 years ago! God. What's the limit of statutations here? It's the cutest dog ever, man. Thanks for bringing Alfred. Give up for Alfred, everybody. Look at that precious little guy. My old roommate had a little dog. He was a Frenchie. It looked a little bit like that. And that little 30-pound asshole would take shits bigger than I could take shits. I swear to God, I don't know how it happened. My roommate was convinced that I was just taking dumps downstairs for a while. Alright guys, I'm going to wrap this shit up. It's been really fucking fun. Thank you for coming out and seeing me. I'll be hopefully back next year.